What's up guys, it's Tom here and we are back at home and I'm recording a brand new Liverpool transfer news video for you guys. And today we have Jurgen Klopp saying that Liverpool is working on transfers. He said, I'm very happy with the squad, but that doesn't mean we don't look at the transfer market. There might still be something happening before the end of the transfer window, but I can't say anything at the moment. So that is a very clear indication that Liverpool behind the scenes is working on a transfer or two transfers for this season before the transfer window ends. And I want to say a huge thank you to OneFootball for sponsoring my channel for this month. OneFootball is the home of football, my favorite app. I've been using it for years. You can find all kinds of football news on there, and also you can find the stats, the latest transfer news. I've been going there almost every day checking the Liverpool transfer news because they combine the best and most interesting transfer news and football news. And you can find also interesting videos, stats, analysis, fantasy football tips and all kinds of interesting football related content on the OneFootball apps, and it's completely free. So what are you waiting for? Make sure to download OneFootball using the link in the video's description, and you support the channel as well that way. Usually when there is nothing happening in the rest of the transfer window, Jurgen Klopp comes out and say, don't expect any new signings, we are happy with the squad, and there will be no activity in the transfer market. So when Jurgen Klopp himself admits that we are working on a transfer or transfers, then you can be hell of a sure that this is happening, and I'm really excited about this. So let me know, which player do you want to see Liverpool sign in the rest of the transfer window? And also I want to share the rest of Jurgen Klopp's comments. So he said, you can't sign counter-pressing, the atmosphere, our anthem. There are different approaches out there, but we have no influence on that. There might still be something happening before the end of the transfer window, and we have a new midfielder in our squad in Harvey Elliott, and we have players who can make a big step. We are not blind, we see what others are doing, we just have to be able to beat them, and we will try to do that on the pitch. And also I can say with fair confidence that if Harvey Elliott was a new signing, signed for like £40 million, the Liverpool fans would be absolutely buzzing. But because he was signed a few years ago for a very low fee as basically a youth player almost, there is not a certain excitement around him, because he's not like a new transfer. And Harvey Elliott played absolutely fantastically against Athletic Bilbao yesterday. He was this close to scoring an absolute banger after a brilliant dribbling and trickery, and I really hope that Harvey Elliott will play a lot of games. He will avoid injuries this season, because I think this will be the breakthrough season for Harvey Elliott in the Premier League. He looks really sharp. And also Jurgen Klopp said that Harvey can play different positions. In pre-season we wanted to see him in a deeper role. He has made a big step in pre-season. If he stays fit, then the football world can be really excited about this young player. I really liked his performance and attitude in pre-season. And also Harvey Elliott, just like Trent Alexander-Arnold, is a boyhood Liverpool fan, so you can bet your house on it that he will work even harder than any player in the Liverpool squad to make it at Liverpool, because this is his dream. He is a Liverpool fan like me and like many of you guys watching. And also, the main concern after that game against Bilbao is Andy Robertson. He very rarely gets injured, he hardly ever goes off injured, and he twisted his ankle, and there is still no result of the scan about Robertson's injury. Jurgen Klopp said at the time, we don't know in this moment how serious Robertson's injury is. He twisted his ankle, the pain settled already, but further assessments tomorrow will be needed with the scan, and then we will know more. And then even Trent Alexander-Arnold said, I think it's going to be quite bad if Robertson has to come off. It's not something that he normally does, so it's disappointing to see, but I'm sure he will bounce back as soon as he can. And James Pearce said that this interview by Jurgen Klopp makes him really, really happy because it looks like Liverpool are working behind the scenes on a new transfer. And Harvey Elliott is a really special talent. He has so much ability, so much intelligence, and he's certainly delivered with this preseason mission to force his way into Jurgen Klopp's plans for this upcoming season. So it's 100% Harvey Elliott is not getting loaned out, and he could even start against Norwich. But I also think Naby Keita has looked the sharpest probably in the last 3 years in this preseason. So I really hope and pray that Naby Keita stays fit, because he could also fill the Wijnaldum role, and that could free up Liverpool to go and sign an attacker, because I think that's what we need. Origi and Shaqiri might be sold still. Liverpool always wanted to plan it like this, that we sign Konate very early in the transfer window and then we move on a lot of players. We generate upwards to 50, maybe even 60 million pounds from player sales, and then pretty late in the transfer window, when deals are emerging, possible deals are emerging, just like last season with Thiago and Jota, we signed them pretty late in the transfer window, 2 of them in the space of 24 hours. I expect something similar to happen in this transfer window, that Liverpool will try and negotiate a deal with a very, very good value pretty late in the transfer window, and that way Liverpool fans can go into the Premier League season very, very excited as well. And tonight Liverpool are playing Osasuna as well. I'm watching the game live at home, and I'm really excited to see Liverpool play again. And I'm also looking forward to seeing many of the players who just came back from a holiday, like Bobby Firmino and Alisson and other players. And also big news comes from Kevin Palmer, who is a journalist at Sunday World newspaper, and he said that Liverpool are confident that they can extend Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk's contract at Anfield, and it looks like Liverpool are set to break the £200,000 per week wages limit reserved for the club's top earners. Recently Liverpool extended the contracts of Trent Alexander-Arnold, Fabinho and Alisson, and I think Liverpool are also working on new transfers, but extending the contracts of Salah and Van Dijk is really, really a priority for Liverpool as well. And Liverpool have been linked with many players in the summer transfer window, so I would love to see your comments down below the video. Which player or which players will Liverpool sign in this summer transfer window? We have been linked with Rafinha, Christoph Baumgartner, Saúl Ñíguez, Dusan Vlahovic, Renato Sanchez, even Donyell Malen, Franck Kessié, Adama Traoré, and many others as well. And Liverpool of course have the pressing concern of replacing Wijnaldum. Wijnaldum regularly played 45 to 50 games. He has been one of the most reliable midfielders, and that is very hard to replace, because Liverpool's other midfielders are all pretty much injury prone, in terms of they always miss a part of a season with injury. And it also comes down to the known homegrown quota and the general finances, with the pandemic forcing Liverpool to rely significantly to player sales. In light of homegrown rules, selling players are also doubly necessary if Liverpool want to arrange any further incomings, and without having to dip into the English market, because the English players are so overpriced. Just look at Ben White going for 50 million. Look at Grealish for going 100 million. For 100 million, don't get me wrong, Grealish is a world-class player, but he's worth 50 million at maximum. Ben White, he's not better than Konate, and Konate cost 36 million. So it's absolutely crazy how much English players are costing. Probably because of Brexit, because of the homegrown rule in the Premier League as well. And the reality is that 2 signings would be the ideal target for Liverpool, but 1 signing is absolutely critical in my opinion, because with Wijnaldum's departure, relying on Naby Keita, Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott to fill that gap might be very risky, because they are either young players, or in the case of Naby Keita, Oaks, Milner, they are all injury prone, or in the case of Milner, he's like 36 now. So yeah, probably we could make it work with playing them and rotating them, but you need stability and consistency in the Liverpool midfield, and it just wouldn't work if you play Naby Keita for a month, then he gets injured, you play Ox for a month, then he gets injured, and then you play Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott. And so Liverpool need a settled midfield for the majority of the season. And I mean, last season Jordan Henderson missed 55% of games, just 21 league appearances. Fabinho, yes, he played 30 games, but he still missed 21% of Premier League games. And Thiago only played 24 games, so he missed 37% of games. But while Wijnaldum missed less than 6% of Liverpool's league fixtures since signing from Newcastle, which is crazy. In like 4 years or 5 years, Wijnaldum missed just 6% of league games, and that just shows how durable and how reliable he was, and that's pretty remarkable. And Wijnaldum already started for Paris Saint-Germain in their win against Troyes, where they came from 1-0 down to win 2-1. And Wijnaldum will probably play a lot of games for PSG as well. So are Liverpool's backup options in midfield strong enough to carry Liverpool through the season? The same argument could be made about the front three, but not a single member of the first choice front line made less than 35 appearances in the Premier League last season. So they are very durable, very reliable. Liverpool are very lucky that Salah, Mane and Firmino, none of them are injury prone, so we can rely on them and we can play them pretty much all the time. I also think that with Jota coming in, he will probably be also very good in terms of that we can rotate some of the front three, but also you have to think about Salah and Mane going to the Africa Cup of Nations and Naby Keita as well. So for that month, Liverpool will be very short if we are relying on only Firmino and Jota to provide the goals, because it's very well documented that Firmino has these dry spells where he doesn't score for months. And Jota, what if he gets injured in that period? Then are we putting our hopes on Origi scoring enough goals, or Harvey Elliott, who is just a kid? I mean, this is a very risky for Liverpool to do that. And Trent Alexander-Arnold said that now that he completed the 90 minutes against Bilbao, he feels really sharp. He said, I think it's perfect timing, the way with the games have gone in preseason, just building up to this. I started at 30 minutes, then 45, and then I had a couple of 60 minutes under my belt, and then obviously against Bilbao 90 minutes. I think we have timed it well. It gives us a good couple of days to recover and then go on to Norwich next week. And he feels 100% fit and fresh going into the new season. I've started preseason quite well in training. I've been putting the work in, got the all clear from the medical staff, and have been able to push on, get fit and get the 90 minutes under my belt. And we have all been waiting to see Anfield full again, or near full again. Obviously last season it was very quiet in Anfield, but to have the fans back today was special for us all, Trent said. We have all been waiting for this moment. And Jurgen Klopp also said this, I'm really working with the players and instilling the principles that have brought Liverpool success already. We are absolutely doing this and improving. It's not only reinforcing the principles, it's improving them. On the basis of good defending, we have to find a way to play proper football which gives us results, football which gives us excitement, gives our people excitement, and all this kind of stuff. And that's what I'm so happy about, because you saw the game yourself against Bilbao. I think you thought as well in moments, wow, that's really the Liverpool how we know them. We want not to be only Liverpool how we know them, however long ago that was. We want to be the next Liverpool, the 21-22 Liverpool, building on the basis we created in the last few years, and that's good. When you don't have a lot of changes, that's good. We have new signing. We brought these 3 players we couldn't use last year for most of the season. We have them back in the team. We have obviously a new midfielder in our squad with Harvey Elliott. We have players who can make a big step to fulfill their potential. They are in a good way. That's how it is. But the situation, I'm completely fine with it. We are all not blind. We see what other teams are doing. But again, we don't have to be better than them. We only have to be able to beat them. That's what we try to do as often as somehow possible. And he also commented on tonight's game against Osasuna. Nobody who started today will be involved tomorrow. That's clear. But there's still a great team. A lot of people, top players. We have only top players involved. It will be it will be a last line. Kelleher will be in goal, and then in front of him will be a really strong defense, a very experienced midfield, and a very exciting offensive line. So we actually want to see the same thing. We want to see today our football, the way we play today, we want to see against Osasuna as well. That should be possible with different players. They have different profiles in some moments, but still our football should be possible. It should be very intense, so the same thing in the same shirt with different players in it. And Harvey Elliott can play in midfield, and how you saw then a little bit later when he went up front, Mo went in the center and Harvey Elliott played the right wing. He smashed the ball on the crossbar in that moment. He can play different positions, there's absolutely no doubt about it. But in the preseason we wanted to see him just in a deeper role, because for a young player you have to learn a lot of things when you are a bit more outside and you get the ball from time to time. We wanted to have him more involved, and I think he made this big step in this preseason. If Harvey stays fit, then the football world can be really excited about that. I liked his performance today. I liked his attitude during preseason and his performances. So good for us and good for him, and that makes me even more excited for the new season. And Diogo Jota said finally Anfield is nearly full again, and it felt really good. When I first came into the tunnel I already felt the crowd. It's massive for us. They have a really important role to play in this club in this season. I just hope this can continue like this. We scored already in the last friendly some goals after recovering the ball, so it's something that is part of us, pressing, getting the ball, playing forward. And fortunately for us, we could score another goal. The result wasn't what we wanted, but in the end it's a friendly and we are getting ready for the season. And obviously I've arrived a little bit later than the others, but we are progressing. I felt good, and the substitution was already planned. So I just keep going forward. We have been progressing, so everything was getting bigger and bigger and more minutes, and I think we will be ready for next week, and I'm really excited about that as well. We have to beat Norwich to get off to a flyer, because Tottenham play Man City, so there is a good chance Man City will drop points hopefully, and they don't look really that ready for the season. They lost to Leicester in the Community Shield final, and it was a pretty flat Man City performance, and they started flat last season as well. The problem with Liverpool was that we got a lead on Man City, but then with the injuries kicking in and more injuries happening, we just lost our lead and we collapsed in the winter time and lost too many games. Hopefully this season we avoid the big injuries to key players and we can last the distance and actually build up a good lead on Man City in the first 2 or 3 months of the season, where Liverpool have on paper easier fixtures than Man City. So that's what I'm hoping for. Let me know what they think about this in the comments below, and thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. See you later guys. Goodbye.